You ordered what?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. We are coming to you live and very late, late and live from my back garden and the cabin bar. Today I have a very special guest in SAM Simmonds. For those of you that don't know Sam is the world's foremost expert on all things whiskey. And that's whiskey with a W-H-I-S-K, and then you know the little brackets for E, end bracket, and then a Y? That denotes all the whiskey, right? Not just Scotch or Canadian, but all the whiskey.
So can I punctuate a bit more and put like quotations around expert?
Okay, see? Sam Simmonds is the world's foremost expert on all forms of whiskey, right? Cheers to that.
Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, good to see you too. So how did you get to being in the position you're in today? I
could barely fit in this position.
Yeah, I know. I did my best. The reason it's like that is because if you look at this angle, when I built the bar, I built it so that my shoulders never drop.
Yeah.
My knuckles touch here, but I can also touch the back bar. And then if you look, it's my wingspan. So it's kind of like a cockpit.
So Dean Callan actually thought about it. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
I designed it. I
fucking right you did.
Yeah, right. I'm going to try to replicate this in either some sort of hard-wearing resin or.
Do people who watch us actually realize we're in your garden? This is your man cave. This is like the man cave of man caves.
I've learned the lesson not to call it a lady cave, but it's just as much my wife's cave.
Fair.
As it, you know.
Yeah. That's
actually
fair.
Most of the time that we've partied out here, it's me bartending and all her friends or work colleagues around.
Well, there's a sexist phrase. If you have a house in your garden, it's basically a man cave, no matter what. That's just the name that's been given. But
yeah,
you're right. Thanks for schooling me yet again.
Well, we need to find, I think in the UK people call them pub sheds.
Pub shed.
Pub sheds. There's a group that I usually post this on. I couldn't get it to share this time. Called Pub Sheds UK. 8,000 plus members. Dude,
Nice.
It's a serious thing.
Yeah, no, there's a house a few doors down that it's got it.
It's crazy.
Got
A few doors down from here or from you?
From me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Do you go down there?
No, I've never been in.
You never thought to build a bigger pub shed?
No, I did not. That's not happening.
So,
lovely.
Explain, how did you get to the position you're in today? So my recollection was that you were like a super influential blogger, and then became the global brand ambassador.
I'm a nerd who was very lucky. Yeah, I moved to Scotland in 2002 and got into whiskey through a whiskey club as a way to meet people, really. And then what happened after that? I was like the president of the Edinburgh University Water of Life Society, where I would read poetry.
Edinburgh University Water of Life. Yeah. So you were already in Scotland before you started your journey on I thought you were.
I didn't like whiskey at all. No.
Canada doing whiskey stuff.
No. In Canada, when I was in Canada, I played music a bunch, and that's my exposure to whiskey was stealing a green bottle from my grandfather. And playing music, and after a gig, someone would buy you a shot and say, "Hey, great gig, man." And I didn't know what to do with it. I'd shoot it. Sometimes it was nice and sweet. Sometimes it was a bit smoky. Sometimes it tasted like medicine or tasted like cancer going down my throat. But I didn't nose it or write tasting notes. No, I wasn't into whiskey at all until I moved to Edinburgh. So I got into it.
You got to Edinburgh and you just went all in.
As a way to meet people more than anything. But then, I went along to this whiskey tasting. I loved the way it made me feel, like the history of it, all that stuff. And then ran this whiskey club. When I moved to London to keep in touch with the whiskey people, I started a blog. This is 2007, so blogs were new.
Yeah.
So then when someone would Google Glenlivet or whatever, I came up. So I was just super visible through the internet.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's not that long ago, but lots changed.
I had this weird, you were hiding out in Canada, and you were Canada's most influential whiskey dude. And then they just imported you across to Scotland,
Well, I'm flattered you think about me that frequently that you had a whole false narrative. That's nice.
Well, sorry.
I love it.
Yeah, I was wrong. So today.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Today, right, in the interest of keeping it concise, because I've been told they run for too long, these things, I'm trying to make it so that it's more professional. So today, we are going to taste one of these things. I haven't tasted any of these. Have you tasted
That's
all
why
of these?
That's why I brought them for. Yeah, I made them all.
Oh, wow. So these are all yours?
Yep. I brought you that. You liked a photo I shared of that recently. That's Burnt Ends. That's
so that's a new whiskey.
Yep, it's a whiskey for sipping when you're cooking barbecue.
Where's this one? Look at this. Look how sexy these bottles are. And like, honestly, I thought you had found that in like some old lady's, you know, cellar.
No,
like
my
they
colleague
find all
Lee.
the vintage stuff.
My colleague Lee is fucking talented, and he designed it.
Making it look like old schooly. There's an old schooliness to it that it doesn't. It looks like you couldn't fake that. It's that good. And is that stain on every bottle?
Yeah, it's supposed to look like barbecue sauce or blood. I don't know.
That's cool.
Or meat. So it's burnt ends. It's 10-year-old sherry finished Isla whiskey mixed with 3-year-old Tennessee rye.
10-year-old Isla with 3-year-old rye. So if you entered in the competition, it'd be a 3-year-old still, right?
It would. I don't know what category that would even go in. World whiskey blends are sort of a new category.
So we'll go back to this one again. Look at this. This is Mackintosh.
Mac.
So explain Mackintosh for the kids at home as well.
So Mac isn't something that we release formally. We blend it. Our friends Paul and Zdenek at Proof & Co. I met Zdenek for the first time with you, actually, Dean.
Yep.
In Soho.
Z. Oh, shit.
And we, thanks. A little variety of glassware. You're pure class, sir.
I'm just trying to separate them.
Yeah, fair.
Remember where they go.
Okay.
You know?
Mac is all about, similar to what Monkey's about, but without the bourbon cask. This is a sherry cask version of a Monkey type of mixing scotch.
Yeah, approachable mixing. Like no one's going to give you a hard time if you put it with ice type thing.
No, it's exactly. Well, it actually really shines with Coca-Cola, just straight mixed.
Oh, wow.
But it's
disco old fashioned.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites. Coca-Cola comes up a lot on this show. All the time. All right, so.
Start with Mac.
I'm so happy. Yeah, you know the order. If we start this way and go across, right?
Well, the burnt ends is a bit smoky. But so is the green. So are the other three, to be honest. Yeah, that's fine. Leave it where it is. Yeah, do that. Yeah. There you go. Jenga!
All right. Let's start with Mac. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so there is a quality control problem. My bottle did that too, but it's coming from Singapore. So it could be the heat and then getting over here. But mine did the same thing.
How strong are my fingers?
You can do it. Wiggle, wiggle. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Straight up.
So yeah, Mac, it's like 7-year-old to 11-year-old sherry cask whiskeys. First fill and refill. All single malts. All, I think. No, sorry. Some Highland, some Speyside. Yeah, you can totally drink it like this.
It smells kind of oily.
So
it
texture.
Smells like it's got a
that was one of the instructions that in the brief that Paul and Z gave is they wanted to have body and viscosity and texture. So it's 40. What's the bottle that again? Sorry, 41%.
Is it 41, 43, 40? 41.
So when you bottle single malt or blended malt scotch and don't chill filter it and you put it below 46, usually gets cloudy.
Yeah.
So this will cloud really quickly, but by not chill filtering it, it keeps all the natural oils inside the whiskey. So most whiskeys at 41% won't taste like this simply because they won't have the same textures.
Oh, it's got some serious legs on it.
So it stands up to a beating when you're making cocktails. That's what he wanted.
So if we're going to make a cocktail, I'll make one out of that, right?
Definitely. Or the other classics are great with burnt ends.
Yeah, this is delicious.
Nice.
And what would you say the kind of key, like if you were going to, you know cocktails, right?
Not as well as you, Dean, but don't test me. You're going to embarrass me.
I just pretend. I'm an actor.
Fucking bullshit.
I really wanted to be an actor, and then I took a role as a bartender, to be a method actor, and the director still hasn't called me back after 20 years.
No gigs. That's too bad. What would it go? What would this be? This is really I
immediately think of a penicillin.
Huh.
It's got a gingery.
Yeah, ginger. Yeah, definitely.
And like the oiliness, the viscosity of it is going to make it like hold up against all that citrus, all that lemon, and it'll obviously marry well with that smoky finish on the top.
They wanted big body. They wanted it to be spicy. They wanted to be able to say sherry, so we used a lot of sherry, but not
whiskey, like hot buttered whiskey.
Yeah. Just the phrase is beautiful enough.
Hot and buttery. All right, so I'll get you a glass of water as well.
Green Isle is our blended Scotch whiskey, sort of an embarrassing category that has a bad reputation, but it's the category that I love
blended
most.
Scotch, like you made. Is this a new design as well? Right.
Yeah, it's brand new.
I love that this. Like honestly, look at this. Have you seen that? Dusty on a shelf in a little like bottle shop in the middle of nowhere in the Highlands, like where you'd normally scream through, like Rothers,
Yeah.
right? You normally scream through, but you decide, we need booze and we'll stop at this little tiny place, and then you go in there and they've got that dusty. You'd be like, I haven't seen that before, but you would immediately assume that it's like
It's got
as
the
old
world,
as Grant.
It's got the word deluxe on it. No one does that anymore, right?
I love it. Where is the UK the target market for this?
We don't really think like that, which is part of our success. It's just cool whiskey, man.
There's no plan then. We
no
make
plan.
cool whiskey, we throw it out there, we see what people think.
Yeah, I think there's people who want great
That's
blended
cool.
whiskey, and it's great blended whiskey. It's
It smells nice.
old White Horse style Mackie blend mixture of sort of Lagavulin and Craigellachie, that style.
Dude, I wish that I still had it, but this smells.
That'd be great to have it. I AB'd it when I was blending
The
it.
really old, the grants that they did that was filtered through egg.
Yes, yeah,
the
Glenfiddich.
very first one.
Oh no, you had that?
Grant, I had it, yeah,
Oh, wow.
until recently. I finished it off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I had a bottle of that.
That's how they used to chill filter, viewers at home.
Yeah.
They would use
Oh
it.
yeah. So back in the day, they chill filter with egg, but that smells like that. Like harken back to the old school. Was that your aim? You want
Yes.
to do like old school?
Well,
blend?
but all Scotch whiskey around the world wasn't single malts really until the end of the 80s and the 90s, but really the last 15 years when Scotch became a thing. Single malt became a thing.
Dude, that is gorgeous.
Nice.
I love that.
So it's affordable, but it's
That's what you
everyday.
expect. Have you been to like Dufton and handed them out into the bars there? Like,
No,
can
we
you
shouldn't.
imagine like the Fife Arms is serving
yeah.
these, and people be like,
On Optic.
and all the Diageo, all the William Grant's people would roll in, and all the other like bigger brand people would roll in and be like, "What's that?"
Yeah. That's when our
This is
supply
Sam
chains would
Simmons'
dry up.
one.
Yeah. All those lovely companies are our suppliers, so please
Okay.
be nice. That's the cool thing about Scotch, isn't it? It's a rising tide industry, and we all depend on one another. So as independent bottlers, yeah, they support us. They enable us.
Oh, surely they wouldn't have a problem with you, like.
No,
having a
we've
little-
sent them everything on the table there, and we've had some very good feedback from the big guys.
Man, this is awesome.
Cool.
Sam, I knew you were going to be really good at making whiskeys, but I didn't.
I didn't. I'm not
didn't
sure I
think you
am
were
yet.
gonna be quite-
I was lucky. If I can repeat it, I think we did about 5,000 bottles of the Green Isle, and we're doing another 5,000 shortly.
All right. I'm
So
gonna get
again,
you
this is
glass of
weird. This is a
water.
different drink, right? There's a different category. It's Scotch Isla whiskey, 10-year-old sherry finished Isla whiskey, mixed with 3-year-old kick-ass Tennessee rye.
I'm interested to taste this, actually, man. I've always,
It's best out of the bottle, standing around a barbecue with your buddies.
so there's no what's the category? Like, it's just blended whiskey.
I guess it'd be blended world whiskey. I've done a bunch of that because I'm really into exploring that in terms of flavor.
Is that a hark back to your Canadian heritage?
Probably.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like it's the 111 rule.
Probably. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah, it probably is, though. It probably comes from that. Because in Canada, all the whiskeys are produced, different grains are produced separately, matured separately, and then blended at the end. It's that sort of idea. Yeah, totally right, Dean. Fucking nerd. You're right. You're right.
What?
What?
I like it. I like the getting into the kind of heart and soul of a brand.
But that's what it is. You're absolutely right. There's a bit of the maker in that for sure.
Says hi.
Hey, Hannah, nice.
And Gavin Ryan Thompson says hi.
Yeah, and Gavin too. Oh man, I miss people.
Oh, here, look.
Yeah. Remember we used to go out and eat tapas and.
Yeah. There we go. I made it massive for you. Can you read that?
Oh yeah.
Squid?
That looks pretty good, Dean.
We're pretty much the same age, aren't we? You just have more hair.
Yeah. Well, do I? Pretty much the same age. I
still more
don't think
hair.
that's quite accurate.
Your hair's upside down.
Fucking lockdown though. This was out of control. So I'm glad you caught me on a good day.
That's cool.
So give it a second. It's a totally weird drink.
This is what I had in mind.
Yeah. Well, that's what many people do. So that's about a 70-pound whiskey. This is not.
So you're democratizing this kind of thing.
It's that idea. I love Brazil. I
Okay.
love Balcones. I love the idea behind that whiskey. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah, the amount you drink. you can't afford to keep paying £70 for a bottle, right?
Yeah, but so this is that sort of space. You're absolutely right. It's probably a bit more chamomile and a bit citronella candles, a bit more just being outside in the summer in Canada, that sort of smell and taste, and having a barbecue.
What's this? Spent fireworks sort of smell. It makes me think of Chinese New Year in Shanghai.
Yeah, okay. So it's a bit of that
red powder, like the red paper all over the floor. When you go to bed at night, like 3, 4 in the morning, and then a couple of hours later when you wake up, it's only been 3 or 4 hours. Sun's shining and the floors, like all the streets have been cleaned.
That's efficiency.
How did they do that? How did they even do that? They've been doing it for thousands of years.
They have. So would you rather be Chinese or American?
Or this is waking up on the 5th of July.
Nice. That's a great tasting note. Wow, cool. Yeah. Yep. Something new, something different. We're trying world whiskey blends, using flavors from around the world to try and make cool things. And again, Lee, all the respect to Lee for designing that because it looks awesome.
I love the design. Like, can I keep this bottle?
Yeah, it's for you.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Yes. You don't have any fucking room with that crazy back bar, but yeah, you can keep it.
Look at down there. It's getting mental. Yeah, but I want to open a bar at some point. So, and also people come in here and I give them, well, not as many as there used to be. But
sure. So you want to open a bar? Have you heard about the state of bars just now?
I know. But I have to try. Oh, Nicole says hi. I'm William.
Will, hey guys, that's nice. Hey.
See, now you know you're live because people
evidence. Yeah, this. I mean,
there's something happening.
I don't know if anyone can imagine. There are fucking screens everywhere. He's got buttons everywhere. He's super cash. It's Dean motherfucking Callan, but this is a serious operation. It is a serious operation.
This is why the music is on. I did this last week. Like when it's just me, I'm like, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dean Callan Show." Blah 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 blah. And an hour in.
Oh no, it wasn't on.
It's like it gets scary, dude. You have to have some.
William, we had the Mac. We had it first because it's an all-round mixing and blending blended malt. Scotch
but
whiskey.
we're going to go back to it. We're going to make a drink, I think.
Yeah.
What sort of drink do you feel like?
I think you said penicillin. I'd be more sprightly and lively and long right now than that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't let any citrus or open containers or anything come anywhere near the place, because I'm terrified of fruit flies. Yeah, they're everywhere. And when you start opening bottles, like they just come out.
They love it. Yeah. They like the Green Isle too. They're all over the Green Isle.
This has got an Isla sort of.
Where are you now? The last one. You got a fast drinker. You're like a sprinter of alcohol.
We've got to squeeze it into half an hour. Mitch will get upset with me for not being concise.
Oh, that's the best part of the show. If you ever seen this before, Mitch's Minute is my favorite bit. No hard feelings.
That's the best bit.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I love it. It's a nice break from you, to be honest. What a guest. Yeah, so seaweed, eons, digging, and fire. Really simple label. Kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but just...
Oh my God, the label is Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. Don't say that.
Oh my God. Wow, how did I not see that straight away?
Well, it's actually, but it's the Beatles thing, really.
It's the Beatles what?
It's the Ringo and Paul, John and Ringo and Paul and whatever. The guys who are in the Beatles, you ever heard of them?
Yeah, the white label guys, right?
Right. Yeah, John and Paul and George and Ringo is like a iconic Dutch designed label, a T-shirt, a poster. So it's inspired by that, but it reminds me of
Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, it does look like.
But we want to just keep it simple and strip down all the stories of the distillery and Ardbeg. We have this water source.
These are really solid, man. Atom Labs, huh? Yeah. Do they all say Atom Labs?
The two on the left are Atom Labs. That's just part of our business where we just test new shit, put it on Master of Malt, online retail, see how it goes, and if it goes well, we make more.
Have you got it on the drinks kiosk? Spirits kiosk?
I don't know.
Yeah, just a thought. Just throwing it out there.
Okay. Now, those two wouldn't be, because they're only on Master of Malt right now.
Very cool. Can you get the little baby size Master of Malt jobs of these? Where they do the little samples?
Yeah, the drinks by the dram. Neither of those. Nope, not yet. They're in labs. Okay. I mean, seaweeds. We've had to re-up many times. Burnt ends we've had to re-up 3 times.
What does re-up mean?
Make more. We're a
when people
small
use
company,
terms,
man.
It's like regauged liters of alcohol and stuff. Like, no one knows that shit.
Yeah, of course they do.
No, they don't.
A regauged liter of alcohol is the volume times the ABV.
No, I mean, like, when you're talking to people, like, everyday consumer type person, like, you'd only need to know it if you're working in it.
Well, it's important to know when you're shopping, isn't it? Because if you go to a shop and you're comparing
buy an
prices...
entire cask. Oh, I'll buy that cask.
Well, you
wait.
But so many companies, Gordon's, so many companies trick you on ABV.
Okay.
Right? So ABV, RLA, regauged liter of alcohol, is a way to measure the alcohol by its complete volume at full volume. Full alcohol, full volume. So makers, you got makers over there. So that makers at 40% or makers at 46.
This one's 40, I'd say.
Yeah.
No, 45.
Oh, right, that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sorry, excuse me. That's the whole thing.
I only buy Knob Creek when I go to America because it still says age 9 years. And it's like $20 a bottle and stuff, like $20, $30 a bottle.
In America.
It's like
here,
£50 and it's the young baby stuff. It's not the same stuff.
Duck those fruit flies. Duck them, Hannah.
What did I say? Turn the lights on, they come.
It adds to the vibe. Crazy, I don't mind it.
Yeah, it drives me.
I'm sure, but you've worked in bars. You're used to fruit flies, brother.
Yeah, but normally the bar's open and operating, and it's not like this, Anyway.
So that's Session Isla, 40% alcohol. We sell a very similar whiskey, but it's at 46, so it's appropriately more expensive because per RLA, it's equal stuff. Exactly
this
equal.
This has got a Lafroiginess to it.
Because of the look or because of the taste?
It's the aftertaste. It's not peatiness. It's like a dry smokiness aftertaste. You know when you like back in the day, Electra didn't really like me drinking loads of scotch.
We're gonna end the sentence there.
Scotch before I went to bed because my mouth, you could smell scotch.
Yeah.
So I took wine glasses of Lafroig to bed. Would drink it right before I went to bed.
Just to make sure.
Well, it wasn't that she didn't like whiskey. It was just that the smoky smell was new.
Yeah.
She wasn't used to it.
Yeah,
and then she got used to it real fast.
It doesn't sound like you gave her a choice.
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't mind.
She still stuck around.
For a while. She stuck around. Yeah.
Mama of your beautiful boy.
I really hope she's not watching now. But what would happen is the next morning, a small amount of dilution would be gone, and you'd taste it, and you get that aftertasty taste, straight away. You don't have the vibrancy and freshness that you get from the high volatiles that would still be in the spirit.
Oh yeah.
Because it evaporated a little bit.
Yep.
And I'd still take a sip of it in the morning just to know, and I'd be like, "Ooh, this is different."
Yeah. Oh, it is.
That's why I brought up the story.
People say they don't like whiskey. You put whiskey in a glass, leave it overnight, have them smell it the next day. They'll like it. It's vanilla and waffle cones and all that good.
It's all different. But the Lafroig 10 had a ashtray smokiness to it, I thought. So what cocktail? Do you want to do a twist on a Toronto?
Toronto? Yeah, you're damn right I do.
All right, cool.
Hometown proud.
I thought you wanted
Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. That night in Toronto with their Toronto.
So, shall we do Mackintosh?
Yeah, definitely Mac. Don't kill yourself. They call me Dr. Whiskey, but I'm not going to be able to help you.
I was going to ask
cut
about
your
that.
finger.
That was one of my questions I was going to ask. I was going to say stuff like...
That's beautiful.
Where do you get the doctorate from? What have you got a degree in?
Well, initially that was honorary because I was studying PhD in Edinburgh, doing research in the library and then drinking whiskey at night with friends and talking about whiskey and reading about whiskey, getting really geeky on whiskey. And so people started joking, okay, take it easy, Dr. Whiskey. So
and they're all people that have PhDs and stuff. They're surrounded.
Well, they're not all of them, but a lot of my mates were, definitely from all over the world, but at the university or people from Edinburgh, lived in Scotland, worked at bars, worked at Royal Mile Whiskies, worked at Oddbins.
Okay.
Started jokingly calling me, okay, take it easy, Dr. Whiskey.
So did Dr. Forrester copy you and just fake a doctor? Or
no, so I ended up being a doctor of letters, doctor of literature, and he's a doctor of plant biology.
But you are actually a doctor of literature.
I am. Yeah.
Wow. That's special.
Special. Yeah. Yeah. I tried to make something of it.
Use it though, right?
Well, how do you use it?
You write
I
stuff.
certainly use. Yeah, I've written a book when we were at Balvenie. I can read. My emails are usually flawless.
My emails are usually flawless.
Yeah,
You
it's
should
tough.
get that on a t-shirt. My emails are usually flawless. 60% of the time, my emails are
Well, yeah.
completely
Look, when
flawless.
lockdown started, I was definitely updating my LinkedIn. So where were you then?
Oh, that's so funny. LinkedIn, man. LinkedIn is business Facebook, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's a really good comparison. Yeah, I actually shared something on there for the first time the other day just to see sort of how it works, but I've never been back, so it'll take me 3 months. They'll offer me a free.
I'm not very like current on LinkedIn. I've started more recently because you can put photos and videos and stuff on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you can use photos? I didn't know you could put normal stuff that's easy to understand. You know, I like photos and videos. I'm not the biggest fan of reading through like a page of an update about the job someone's just taken on. Right.
Yeah, congratulate so-and-so on their anniversary
Yeah.
at Procter & Gamble.
Like, but anniversary
Mazel
of
tov.
working. Like, if they only come on and said, congratulate Sam Simmons on his anniversary of retirement. He's now been
Yeah.
retired for 12 years. I'll be like, fucking
Now,
congratulations,
that's good news.
Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's a picture of you smoking a cigar by the beach, you know, like that'd be great.
That's
Like-
different than congratulate so-and-so
Like-
on their middle management job. Yeah.
Oh, they should just do a retired, when you finish working and you're retired, LinkedIn becomes linked out, and only other retirees can actually like be on your linked out profile.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Linked out! Punch the card for the last time.
Real talk.
Yeah. Duck fruit flies. Like, it's bad, isn't it? Like,
Duck 'em.
And there were none when we first got in here.
Mother
And
duckers.
then they just keep growing. There were a couple. Oh.
Well, they hump and they lay like crazy, so that's the problem. We need to kill as many as we
it's
can.
all right. You're never going to get them.
No, you need one of those little vinegar pots. Suck them in.
I did. But I realized they're outside.
Right.
They're outside in the garden. They're next door in the garden. They're like up in the house. So like if you open the window of the house and you start cooking, they come in. Like within a minute. And then they're everywhere. But I'm gonna have to cut down all the raspberry trees, and I've got, so basically over the course of summer I was getting a punnet of raspberries a day, and if I didn't pick them all,
Nice.
the next days would be turning red.
Does it run the whole way long?
All the way
it's
lane.
wicked.
And there's
Wow.
huge amounts of strawberries. And like basically you couldn't get at the strawberries for the raspberries, and like the amount of work you had to do to sift through the floor to find where the strawberry vine had popped up. I think I'm just going to wait for winter and get rid of all of the fruit stuff. I'm not motivated to pick all the fruit and eat all the fruit. Like, I could make jam, but again, I just did not have the time in the day.
Well, there's almost too much
Pick
if
all
you
that
have
fruit.
that much.
It was just, it was like, I could have sold the fruit. And they were delicious. They were like the most delicious. I don't have oranges either.
Beautiful glassure all the way
They were
through
the
that
most
process.
delicious
So nice.
raspberries you've ever tasted. I've never tasted better raspberries. Because obviously you wait and then you go like that and they just come off.
Yeah,
like,
perfect.
They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
trying to, and they're
With
still
the little monkey's
perfectly
dick.
intact.
With the little monkey's dick when you take it off.
A little bit of white stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Cheers.
were good raspberries, but then
I think it's a technical term.
then
the
they
monkeys.
died and.
Ah, man. So what's in that? That's fresh as well. Lifting.
It's good, right?
Oh yeah.
Fucking Torontos, man. Who's been sleeping on Torontos? Have you been sleeping on Torontos? We haven't been sleeping on Torontos.
I'm the Toronto Mattress King.
So, to make a Toronto, you make an old fashioned, but instead of putting a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, you put like a bar spoon or two of Fernet Branca.
Menta
Really
or
good.
Branca?
Fernet Branca.
Nice.
Right, so, as far as I remember, I could be wrong. I keep getting drinks wrong. I'm going to cut to Mitch's minute. and give us a minute to reflect on this delicious drink, and we'll be right back.
Here comes the best part of the show.
Right. Where's whiskey going? I don't know if I'm qualified for that. I can only speak for the markets that I work in. And honestly, this will be fucking controversial. The way of flavored vodka. I don't know, like there's fucking goofier names and fucking stupider fucking branding and shitty fucking flavors. I mean, it feels like agave spirits will be the next one up on the fucking chopping block in that sense as we go through our cycle. There's like fucking 5 or 6 tequila or mezcal focused bars in Venice alone where I do a lot of work, and so, you know, where it was sort of, you know, 5 or 6 whiskey bars, like, you know, a couple of years ago. So I think that cycle's going through. Whiskey's going to go back to the shadows for a little while, I think.
Right, so we're back, and Seb, you don't have to finish the whole of all of the drinks, but there's 2 more things that I kind of wanted to cover, right? Like,
okay.
You've seen on that, I asked Mitch, where do you think whiskey's heading?
Yeah.
And Mitch said it's going down the flavored vodka route. You know, Mitch is convinced we're moving back into, and I'm kind of agreeing with him a little bit, the dark ages of bartending. Right? We're going right back to another dark ages, where everything's kind of soda pop pre-batch drinks, you know, like ready to drink RTDs and stuff, which you've seen skyrocketing. You have to have seen that. That, you know, people are now drinking like chocolate flavored whiskey, and, you know, do you think that's where whiskey's heading, or are you seeing I noticed you weren't trying to make the world's most expensive expressions there. You know, you were trying to democratize the different flavor profiles and stuff. Where do you think whiskey's heading yourself?
Well, we have expensive whiskeys too, but yeah, where's it heading assumes that there's one bit leading it somewhere, and the only place that is sort of leading the world of whiskey is now across the planet. For a long time, it was Scotland. Everyone looked to Scotland to be the benchmark of quality, the benchmark of how you're supposed to drink it, what type of glassware, in what type of venue, should there be mahogany, should women be allowed, and
Should women be
you know what I mean?
allowed?
Like that's the projection that we had, and we don't need to look to Scotland anymore. Scotland, every country around the world who drinks single malt Scotch whiskey now makes their own single malt whiskey or rye whiskey or corn whiskey. This is a crazy pack, man. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm pouring us one.
Oh, great. Thank you. So, where's it headed? Of course you see flavor drinks, but that's not new. That's an old thing.
Yeah.
Every country that imports Scotch whiskey is now producing it. So look at Australian whiskey, American whiskey, Taiwanese whiskey, Indian whiskey. All these countries producing beautiful whiskey. Now, to Mitch's point, to what you hinted at earlier about flavor, you can drive at flavor like Burnt Ends or like Green Isle, an Isla-style whiskey when you're wet coming in from the rain, or when you're barbecuing with your friends with Burnt Ends. That's a flavor as well. It doesn't need to be flavored. There's now, instead of just having the different single malts of Scotland to blend with, we got the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
So I got samples of Australia. We're doing a bunch of Australian ryes. We've done a bunch of world whiskeys recently.
Australian ryes.
Yeah. Australian malts, Australian ryes, world ryes. Shit, this is an amazing glass. Cheers.
So this.
What are you drinking?
This is, right, Brewdog, Barnard Castle, eye test hazy. Notice it gets smaller and more hazy. So you know what that's about, right?
What's Barnard Castle?
Barnard Castle is the place that Dominic Cummings drove to to
right,
test
his eyes. Yeah. That is
Like,
brilliant. That's
for those of you
quick.
who can't see that, like,
See, say what you want about BrewDog, but just being able to have any operation of that scale react that quickly to something is fucking badass.
Yeah. Oh, this is ages ago. I've sat on this for a while. I haven't tasted it yet.
No, I remember I read about it. That's just badass. I remember they did the steroids thing, right?
It smells like they've just put an IPA.
They did a beer some years ago that my colleague now, Ben, bought for me when he was up there because it was like if you drank it, you would test positive for drugs that would get you kicked out of the Olympics. What was it called? It was like that. It was like, yeah.
Jesus. I remember when they did Sink the Bismarck. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that kind of shit I love. I mean, that's just fun. Say what you want about them as beer
Can you do that
makers.
sort of stuff? Can you just like randomly do a like politically driven small run of whiskey?
No, well, Dean, what I like to say is whiskey can be mixed with anything, not politics.
Okay, it's like Jordan saying like, Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
Stay out of politics.
It's better, right? Fuck, it's just easier. Man.
Right, so today, I thought because, you're such a fun person to have a drink with, rather than like suggest which whiskey or tasting we were going to do, I like to taste stuff I've never tasted before.
Yeah, look at this.
So all of these, right, I've not tasted before. And I mean, obviously, like, so Sam actually opened this because it just arrived. And this is the Teeling Irish Whiskey Company's Stiggin's Fancy Pineapple Cask.
Yeah,
like, pretty badass. But, right, so you got Pineapple Cask. We've got Glendalough Gin, right? Wild Botanical Gin from Glendalough, which we go. And this is a rose one, right?
Nice.
We got double barrel Irish whiskey, first aged in bourbon barrels, and then finished in Oloroso sherry.
Ooh.
Right? And then we've got their standard or their house pot still Irish whiskey, first in American oak, and then finished in Irish oak.
Ooh, okay, nice.
Ooh, Irish oak. And then I found this at my bakery this morning.
I love the
Dulwich
label.
Gin.
I saw it as soon as I came in. Yeah, I love that.
I'm actually surprised. So if they want to order it, the guy comes in with a couple of bottles to the local bakery in Dulwich, and he's like, "Oh, you want some gin? Have you sold any? Whatever," and hands them it. That's their distribution network. Like, feel that? Look, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's nice. Really nice.
Yeah, and there's a bit of history about Dulwich on it. Like, anyway.
That's the bit of London we're in right now, everyone at home. If you want to come find this cabin and steal some booze, we're in Dulwich.
Yeah, well, Dulwich is a big place. They'll never find it. Right, so me personally, I want to try the Glendalough with the Irish cask finish.
Cool.
And I equally want to try the pineapple cask finish, but,
I think let's start with the Teeling with the pineapple.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Can we do both of those, though? Can we do the Glendalough as well?
Is that a challenge or a dare? Of course we can. I haven't finished my beer. I haven't finished my whiskeys. We're not overserved.
All right.
We're very responsible.
Oh, we're going to get in trouble. Mitch is going to be angry. We went over half an hour.
Well, he doesn't have to watch. He had his bit.
He did his bit. He did do his bit.
And it was dynamite, by the way. As always. I love that's the best part of the show. So fun.
I should fix the freaking... Wait a second. Do you mind?
No, are we out of focus?
I just feel like we are.
We could be. Oh. Come on, Dean. Let me just focus it.
Does that look better?
It looks the exact same, I think. No.
No,
That's definitely worse. That's probably as good as it was, will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, I love these glasses. These are badass.
They're cool, huh?
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, I can't find them again.
I won't break
I
it.
got them in one of the Yummy Mummy, like, we sell 50-pound chopping boards to people.
Right.
And they're £7 a glass. And I thought, oh.
Ooh.
And now I'd easily pay that.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
One time, I was drinking, boom, 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 put it here. Axel tried to grab one. He dragged it across here, flicked it off, and I heard it go, ting, 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 and I got around that side, and there was like my scooter and a bunch of metal stuff that it had just casually bounced off.
Wow.
But it's like, it feels like it's like scientific grade glass or something.
Yeah,
Look at where the handle sits.
Yeah. Well, to be that thin, you're probably right. It probably has. I mean, this handle is just that
special.
bond. Look at that bond.
All right, so let's do a number on this Teeling. So
Pineapple
the
rum, what does
Spirit
that
of
mean?
Dublin,
Angostura or
so
what's
pineapple rum, like they
plantation rum?
plantation pineapple. So this is the plantation pineapple rum.
But
Right?
they're the only people who do that, or no?
They're not the only people to have done a pineapple rum. I would say that Havana Club did a pineapple
Did they? Okay.
liqueur before them.
It's a natural mix anyway. Tropical.
Pineapple and rum. So
Yeah,
what they
fuck yeah.
do with this, as far as I understand, is they take the flesh of the pineapple and also the skin of the pineapple, because you get loads of flavour from it, and they distill it, re-distill it, and then age it. It's already been pre-aged, and they put some bit of sugar in it, I'd say, because it's got a hint of sweetness to it. And they do tend to put a little bit of what they call dosage into things to give it a bit of sugar.
Yes, yeah, that's what you need.
But if this is the pineapple rum cask, and it's got pineapples all over it, dude, I'm actually really excited about this. So, on the bottle, Spirit of Dublin, Teeling whiskey, pineapple rum cask, small batch collaboration, natural character, non-chill filtered, product of Ireland, yay, Irish whiskey, pineapple rum cask. They're repeating the same things. Jack Teeling.
You didn't read our bottles, Jesus, Dean.
Yeah, I can read your bottle.
Why again special treatment?
But this is what I do every time I open something I've not tried before.
Well,
And
wait.
this
Oh,
one,
no,
ready?
that's-
Are you ready?
that's,
We're back. Green Isle Deluxe, sweet, smooth, smoky, blended Scotch whiskey at the heart of this epic tale is the unmistakable character of Islay malt, masterfully blended with Speyside malt and lowland grain whiskies.
That's
Green
the,
Isle
that's
is
the
the
best
multiple
one, though.
union of
That's the best
whiskies.
one. Come on.
All right, you ready? You ready for this one? Seaweed and aeons and digging and fire. 10-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, 70 CL, 40%. Seaweed and aeons and digging and fire. We believe in balance. We believe in contents of this bottle are complex and carefully crafted. We believe that outside needn't be any of those things. Believe responsibly.
Come on, that's pretty dynamite.
Oh, I love it.
Go team.
Yeah. All right. And Mackintosh, because otherwise Denick will kill me. Product of Scotland, trademark. Traditional malt profile, Mackintosh, gentle sherry finish.
Remember, they're selling this to a
Bourbon sherry
different.
casks,
Yeah.
blended for balance. Blended malt Scotch whiskey, non-chill filtered. Recipe number 1, 41%, 700ml, no caramel.
Proud of that. Recipe number 1. Nailed it in one.
Oh yeah, look.
Mac number 1.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it goes cloudy. It goes.
Yeah. Well, it's been cold and hot and all sorts in here.
Yeah, but that's
Right.
cool about it. Go.
Are
Sorry.
we ready?
Back
Are
to
we
the
ready?
Teeling
Back to the
pineapple
Teeling
cask finish.
Pineapple cask rum finish. All right. Oh, I love the little bird on the top. Teeling's awesome.
Teeling is awesome.
Right.
Real talk.
I bet there's someone that... Is this a collector's thing? It's meant to be a collector's thing? It looks collector-y.
Well, their whole look is a bit fancy, but I'd imagine it's a limited run.
Wait. Look, this is the pineapple rum.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, Pendarren is Welsh. I just saw your comment, William. Sorry, bud.
Oh, yeah, you're saying... Oh, great. Awesome.
Ooh, yeah. It's rummy right off the bat. Caney, rummy, earthy. Oh, my God.
Wow. They really did well with that, didn't they?
Was a natural fit, I think. Whiskey and rum casks.
You can get the pineapple in it, though, straight away.
So is there sweet added after fermentation or after distillation? Because I don't think you'd be able to use it with Scotch whiskey. Irish have a lot more freedom in what they can do to mature whiskey than they do in Scotland. They don't even have to use oak. It can just be wood.
Oh, that sounds rude. They'll take any wood.
They'll take it. Yeah.
Dude. Right. I love that.
Me too. Delish. Big and bright and fruity. And actually, I don't know how much that bottle is, but that's great for mixing.
Yeah, I think it was like £50.
Well,
Plus like £15 postage, so 65. It starts to get a bit expensive.
So where'd you get it
But
from?
I mean, it popped up and I bought it straight away.
It's a gorgeous taste. And actually, I think if I had that blind, I don't think I'd guess what it is.
Okay, you have to understand as well. You got the pineapple rum. You got the now pineapple Irish whiskey, right? But from the same like inspiration of pineapple, mother flippin' pineapple mezcal, only released in Canada. Right? Do you want to taste that?
Well, I guess that's what's going to happen.
Do the Trinity. Like, have you tasted the pineapple rum before?
Pineapple rum I have, yes. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think it was Plantation I had, though. I'm pretty sure it was, in the Angostura bottle. That dumpy, no, not the bitters bottle, the Angostura rum.
All right.
It's like a dumpy
I'm not
bottle.
pour you too much, but I mean...
What, am I overserved, bartender? Jesus. Thank you.
That's the beginning. That's the middle.
That has so much in common.
So much. Like, I'd love to see them blow this up even more, and then have so many casks that other people can use. Like,
Jesus.
more of this sort of stuff would be brilliant.
But I love how subtle the pineapple is, even on the rum. It's not smacking you in the face with like flavoring.
Mm-mm.
No, that's lovely.
It's real pineapple.
Yeah, that's really, really nice.
Blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Your mind will be blown. You'll say stuff like, "Wow, that's mind-bogglingly good."
I feel on the spot. That's a different spirit type. Give me a second. Give me a second to adjust. That is a different spirit type.
It's a different world. You could almost say that's a new world. You don't like it? What? Oh, goodness. How do you not like that? Are you really?
I like it. It just is an adjustment from the drink I just had a moment ago. So
Wait,
let me just adjust my palate.
Oh.
It's a step away from Irish whiskey and pineapple rum casks, or indeed rum flavored with pineapple. It is a different beast. So I'm going to wait a second.
It's just drier.
You try it.
All right. Well, I think it's delicious. Right, so we can still do Glendalough, right? Because it's just come in, and I just really want to try it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You want to finish in Irish wood?
Right. It's a. We can finish in Irish wood. All right. Now.
You're Irish, aren't you?
Yeah.
Might be my lucky night.
People don't believe me. Oh, it would be your unlucky night. I don't know. Right. So, here we go. I'm excited about this. Have you seen any of their marketing?
Other than the labels, no.
They've done a great job. They've got this video that explains the distillery, and it shows like they've got a small craft distillery.
Yep.
But the video, I have to admit, I started watching it and I was expecting it to like it. There was a funness to it that made me think it was going to turn like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
It was going to, and then it didn't.
Yeah, but
I kept watching it, being like.
There's something so
funny. And they were
about
having
that.
fun with it. It just feels
yeah. But
fun with it. It was
just
dead
walking that
serious,
line, yeah.
Walking the line.
Yeah, I
of
love
taking the
that.
piss.
That's cool. Yeah.
And like, I think it captures, for me, there's like the Irish spirit of like, Tullamore Dew with like Irish True, and they're reading poetry in the rain and stuff. And
Yeah.
Yes, that is a part of the Irish character, but there's also the part of like telling a story of something serious and old, but telling it in a way where it's a bit fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those old like Betamax or even VHS videos. When you'd go to a distillery, they'd put them on for you. So I love it when there's that feel, that sentiment of like, at the Downmore distillery, the water source has been, but then being aware of it at the same time, like when the brand's aware of it, I love that.
That's yours.
Oh, thank you. What did you pour me now? This is the Glendalough.
No, this is the Glendalough.
This is the Glendalough, yeah.
The big one. See, we're going to get the glasses mixed up. I don't have enough.
No, I've got that. You don't have enough. Excuse me? You got plenty of glass.
Yeah, but there's not consistency. There's not.
Little
also,
grains of sand are wearing T-shirts saying "Fuck
this.
Dean."
See this?
I do.
There was a point where all of those and that one there were this glass, and then some of these, and then slowly they got broken to the point that there were all those, I replaced them. They were all those. And now there's just what we have here.
Just.
Yep.
So only come over with about 16 to 20 friends. Cheers, team. Oh yeah, baby. Now we're back. Sorry, that mezcal was in the weird direction. Oh, it smells incredible.
Oh, man.
Where did that go? You? Nope. Totally different. Wow, lovely.
That's delicious, man. That is really good. Oh, whoa! Okay. Bottle reading. Are we ready for this?
Read the bottle. Read the bottle. Oh, you got two.
What?
What? I can see. Do it.
Irish oak, matured in hogsheads. Glendalough Distillery, pot still Irish whiskey, bottle number 222, batch number 2, tree number 3.
Oh, shit.
Cask number 2.
Brilliant. That's so cool.
Tree number 2.
Tree.
Why did we get tree number 3? The 222, batch 2, cask 2, tree 3.
Tree. Chubby.
What can you do?
That tastes wonderful.
The man on our bottle, St. Kevin, stood apart, and this whiskey does the same. A quintessentially Irish style of whiskey, pot still. It is first matured in American oak ex-bourbon cask, and it is further matured in Irish oak cask made from trees felled in the Wicklow Mountains. So it's from Wicklow. So we're using local trees. While the bourbon cask softens and sweetens the whiskey, the higher levels of flavour in the Irish oak cask complements and balances the classic pot still spices.
If this whiskey is successful, they'll be right in the middle of a parking lot.
I'm interested. What do you mean?
Just cutting down trees. I'm just making a stupid.
Yeah. How many trees do they have?
That's the question. That's they don't clarify on that label.
You know what?
How many trees are there in Wicklow?
You have to take into account if it says more flavoursome Irish oak. If the Irish wood has tons of flavour, they could just be finishing in it for a while. You know?
It tastes great. I assume that's young spirit. That's the stuff that they're producing themselves.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's really, really delicious.
It's got a cereal note that would say young.
Yeah, which is fine. But even just carrying over cereal notes is hard. It's tricky. A lot of distilleries fail at that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's absolutely delicious.
That's solid.
Yeah. And it's going to take maturation well, would be my guess, because there is all that cereal backbone. Really, really yummy.
Yeah, man. And I'm now eyeing up the other ones, thinking.
Rosé gin.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, Sam.
Dean.
What's your plans for the future? What whiskies are coming out? Have you got any scoops?
We just we've had a very stressful couple of weeks. Because Christmas really is a month ago for us, so we've been putting out. We have 2 new limited edition ranges of Darkness. So you mentioned Darkness, or Mitch
Darkness.
mentioned Darkness.
Have you ever watched Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories on the?
I have, but be careful, you're going to get us in legal trouble. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. Well,
I was going to tell you up. Like,
do you have it ready to go?
You brought it. I was getting not anymore.
I should have brought it.
Be like Darkness.
Yeah, sorry, I should have brought it. That's a sherry finished whiskey. The core one is 8 years old from a distillery in Speyside that uses 2.5 times distillation and worm tubs. That's all I can say. And now we just did a bunch of limited editions. Yeah, think about that, nerd.
Wait, a distillery where?
In Speyside.
Oh, okay.
That uses worm tubs and is 2.5.
Is it Mortlake? You can't
times
say.
Distillations. Can't say.
Okay.
And so we've just done a bunch of limited editions. So we've done some very cool stuff from Glenallachie, some old Ardbeg, 24-year-old Ardbeg in PX. Anyway, a bunch of limited editions and a bunch of old Isla whiskeys as well.
Wait, so you can do your own expression of Ardbeg?
Yeah, well, so we're independent bottlers. All this is sourced from secondary market.
But you can say it's Ardbeg on the label?
You can, yeah.
Wow.
It's not an Ardbeg, but it's distilled at Ardbeg Distillery.
So you can say distilled at Ardbeg?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like Murray McDavid or Signatory or other independent bottlers, it's like that. But our line's called Darkness or Wind and Wave.
Because I remember there was a whole policy of like teaspooning at William Grant & Sons, like not tea bagging, don't get it mixed up. Where you'd add a tiny little dash of another
That's so
single
other
malt.
people can never bottle.
So they can't
a
bottle
Glenfiddich
a
or
Glenfiddich, yeah.
So
Like-
Westport is a Glenmorangie that's been teaspooned.
Okay.
Williamson is the Lafroig that's been teaspooned.
Could you just take the Lafroig and release it as Williams?
Could you take Lafroig and do that?
No, so you're able to buy, as a blender, you're able to buy Williamson, right?
Yep.
Which is Lafroig that has been teaspooned.
But on paper it's called Williamson, so you cannot call it Lafroig.
Yeah. Can you call it Williamson?
Well, now that's a very, is that why you're bringing it up? Because specifically that one they protected.
They protect Williamson.
So like Balvenie with Burnside,
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Springbank owns the name. So even just using it is tricky in that regard.
Wow.
But so on the secondary market, it's traded as Burnside, and there's an agreement they're allowed to use that name, but they never release it as Burnside. Independent bottlers do, and often get
In trouble.
in trouble. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can't use the pseudonyms or whatever you call it.
No, but Dram Fool, our friend Bruce, boutique labels, being able to use an illustration that indicates Glenfarclas, but not saying Glenfarclas. There's ways around it in a limited scale. And I think if
this
you,
was a surprise. Like wow.
it's
of the bunch.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Peanut oil
I'm
as well. I'm
really-
tasting it. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So you think peanut oil?
Like that lovely, like roasted peanuts, chocolates, cocoa. I think it's gorgeous.
So do you think like a cornflake hard shake would taste great with this?
if you dare.
Do you know cornflake hard shake?
I don't, but I'm just going to pretend.
So you take milk and you soak
milk?
cornflakes in the milk and you strain off the milk so it tastes like cornflake milk, right? And then you make ice cream with it.
Yeah.
And then you make a milkshake with whiskey in it.
Look, it's lactic. Yeah, it'll go well. That will totally work.
Right.
It's very yummy whiskey.
Sam, thank you for coming on the show.
for
Sorry
having me,
for not having a plan. Look, we did have...
You wrote a plan up
It
there.
says, intro, welcome, Sam, taste stuff, Mitch's Minute, other stuff,
I gotta take a picture of
Connaught
that.
video.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So guys, right now we're going to cut to a video that was released today, or yesterday. I seen it today. You know, it's when I see things. It's a Dean Cowan show.
What was
It's
it?
how I see the world. And it appears that the Connaught is reopening again. And it looks kind of like they're doing cocktails to go, which would be amazing. So I'm going to try to head up there when I get my new camera that I bought a week ago, whenever it gets delivered. I bought a new camera.
Yeah, because that's exactly what you need is another camera.
Another camera. No, this one's a journalist camera. It's like what they use on the news. You know, when you see like Trump says something wrong and it goes to the room of people recording him.
Yeah.
I was like, there's my camera. That's what I want.
Well, with that camera, you can get in anywhere. That's a great
I
idea.
can just pretend.
Yeah.
You can put a press pass. Yeah. So thank you, Sam.
Thanks,
Legend.
team.
And we're going to cut to this video, and then hopefully, if I get it right at the end, I'll cut to the outro. So thank you all so much. Enjoy the video, and if you do get the chance to drop into the Connaught, go and recycle some of that money back into the boys.
Amen.
It's not showing up on my video!
We truly believe that doesn't matter what you do, but how you do it.
Time shapes our lives and enriches our passion and dedication for our guests.
Straight up with style and don't forget the smile.
You ordered what?